Hello readers, welcome back to Sandra Is Book, where I talk all things book and bookish related. So this week we have a summer romance reading vlog. So these are the 3 books that I'm reading. So actually I didn't notice this, but this is all blue spine, so that's pretty cool. That's really cute actually. But yeah, anyways, so I read these summer books in this vlog, and obviously I'm filming this really late. I'm filming the intro, outro, and my thoughts and reviews about this book at a very late time, but I hope you enjoy nevertheless, and we're just gonna keep on rolling. There's also a mini book haul in this video, a very exciting book haul. We're gonna cut to that at some point, so stay tuned. And then at the end of the video, we're gonna finish up with my book reviews and if I actually enjoy beach read, especially because this book has been a highly anticipated book for me to read, and it has been going around for the last year or so, and everyone has read it, everyone on BookTube has read it, so it's my time to read it and review it for you guys and let you know if I think that the hype is real or the hype is overhyped. So without further ado, let's get reading.
Feeling bad and sad or whatever. That's not an excuse. It does.
This is a chunky novel, and honestly I'm like about halfway through, and like the romance sexy stuff are happening now, but I'm like really wondering where is this going to go from here. Like the first 300 pages, they were really quick to read. That's the funny part. Like there's a lot of like longing and back and forth, and the main character, she's basically an architect, and she just quit her job because her boss was like terrible, was not giving her the promotion, and he was like sexist and made an advance on her. And so her best friend, she lives with 2 of her best friends back home, and one of them runs a nannying business abroad, and one of her nannies dropped out of a special important nanny job with this rich billionaire in the south of France. And so her friend, our main character, who's recently jobless, ends up taking that position, although she doesn't have a background in nannying. She doesn't have any of the certification qualification. She becomes a nanny to this billionaire's daughter, and basically they spend the whole time on a boat, a private boat that goes around the south of France, while the father, Xavier, is on business on and off and trying to spend some time with his daughter. And obviously there is an inappropriate nature to the relationship, so the main character, Josie, obviously has attraction for her boss and the billionaire, and same goes for him, but obviously they can't be together. And then there's the whole mystery of what does he do exactly for a living, and how did his wife, which used to be his kind of childhood sweetheart, pass away. It's alluded to here and there, and it's like a big trauma, and he's wary of women because women always expect much of him, and he has to think about his business, he has to think about his dead wife, and he has to think about his daughter, who's pretty young. I think she's like 7 or 8. She's kind of witty, she's kind of smart, but she's still fairly young. So yeah, that's where we're at, middle of the story. I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but so far I'm really enjoying it. I don't know how a kind of romance book of 500 pages ends up being like really quick to read, and I'm at page 320 and the action is finally starting. So I really enjoy this. Honestly, it's not my favorite romance out there, but it's a really enjoyable one, and it's perfect for the summertime. I just dropped the box. I was carrying it. I just broke my nail halfway in. You can't see it, but ouch. And it fell, the box fell on my toes as well. This is not starting well. Okay. So we're interrupting this little segment of the video to present a mini book haul. I don't know, I was debating if I should just film it in a separate video, but I'm like, I feel like this video is gonna be short, so I don't have enough footage, so I'm just gonna add this little book haul in there as well, and to see what books that's in here, because I forgot already. But I don't think there's much. There's one really exciting book, and I think it's the scripts of Fleabag, so let's just open this up and see. So obviously from our trusty book outlet, everything's gonna be linked down below. Love book outlet. So let's open it. My nail. Ow, that was a fail. Seriously, these boxes are like idiot proof, and I'm not here for it. Like, the hell. So first we have here a novel by Alexandra Kleeman. We have Something New Under the Sun, and this is about the East Coast. So East Coast novelist Patrick Hanlon has come to Hollywood with simple goals in mind, overseeing the production of a film adaptation of one of his books, preventing starlet Cassidy Carter's disruptive behavior from derailing said production, and turning this last-ditch effort at career resuscitation into the sort of success that will dazzle his wife and daughter back home. But California is not as he imagined. Drought, wildfire, and corporate corruption are omnipresent, and the company behind a mysterious new brand of synthetic water seems to be at the root of it all. Patrick partners with Cassidy after having been her reluctant chauffeur for weeks, and the two of them investigate the sun-scorched city's darker crevices, where they discover that catastrophe resembles order until the last possible second. In this often witty and all too timely story, Alexandra Kleeman grapples with the corruption of our environment in the age of alternative facts. Okay, I like that it follows a novelist. I think with everything that's been said, that there may or may not be a cult involved, because I see here that Emma Klein blurbed it, so I have a feeling that it might be something to do with cults, but I might be wrong. Then we have The Last Confessions of Sylvia P. by Lee Kravitz, and obviously it's about Sylvia Plath. And I just wanted to read here this little blurb for you guys, because I've been collecting every novel on Sylvia Plath and every of her works as well. I love Sylvia Plath. So this, it says here, a multi-generational story inspired by true events, The Last Confessions of Sylvia P. imaginatively brings into focus the period of promise and tragedy that marked the writing of Sylvia Plath's modern classic, The Bell Jar. Estee, a seasoned curator for a small Massachusetts auction house, make an astonishing find. The original manuscript of Sylvia Plath's semi-autobiographical novel, The Bell Jar, written by hand in her journals 55 years earlier. Vetting the document, Estee will discover she's connected to Plath's legacy in an unexpected way. Plath's psychiatrist, Dr. Ruth Bauernhaus, treats Plath during the dark days she spends at McLean Hospital following a suicide attempt, and helps set the brilliant poet and writer on a path towards literary greatness. Poet Boston Rhodes, a talented if spiteful fellow student in Robert Lowell's now legendary 1963 poetry seminar, pushes Plath to write about her experiences at McLean, tipping her into a fatal spiral of madness and ultimately forging her legacy. Like Michael Cunningham's The Hours, Paula McLean's The Paris Wife, and Theresa Ann Fowler's Zed, a novel of Zelda Fitzgerald, The Last Confessions of Sylvia Plath bridges fact and fiction to imagine the life of a revered writer. Suspenseful and beautifully written, with a remarkable prismatic approach, Kravitz's masterful novel is a highly seductive work of literary fiction. Okay, so I have The Hours, I have The Paris Wife, and I have Zed, a novel of Zelda Fitzgerald, and these novels are all retellings of the kind of like the author and the author writing their novels. And so it's really interesting because I am planning on doing a book to literary adaptation of the book by the author type of thing in the future. So really cool. I really like this style of writing, which is imaginative but also based on some facts by the author and the author's works. So really interested in reading this one, and it's pretty short. Then I got Post Traumatic by Chantel V. Johnson, and I saw this reviewed on Bookstagram, and the person that reviewed it gave it such a great review that I really wanted to read this. And I love the cover. I'm obsessed. So it says here, to the outside observer, Vivian is a success story. A dedicated lawyer who advocates for mentally ill patients at a New York City psychiatrist hospital. Privately, Vivian contends with the memories and after effects of her bad childhood, compounded by the everyday stresses of being a Black Latinx woman in America. She lives in a constant state of hypervigilant awareness that makes even a simple subway ride a heart-pounding drama. For years, Vivian has self-medicated with a mix of dating, dieting, dark humor, smoking weed with her BFF Jane. But after a family reunion prompts Vivian to take a bold step, she finds herself alone in a new and terrifying ways, without even Jane to confide in, and she starts to unravel. Will she find a way to repair what matters most to her? I like that. I like that it's really dealing with like drug use, marijuana. So I like how marijuana becomes like a confidant to her at this point of like overuse. So we'll see how this story turns out. Then I got A Very Nice Girl by Imogen Crimp, and I just love the cover. It's so stunning. It's so eye-grabbing. And let me just read you the blurb. So it says here, Anna doesn't fit in, not with her wealthy classmates at the selective London Conservatory where she unexpectedly wins a place after university, not with the family she left behind, and definitely not with Max, a man she meets in the bar where she sings for cash. He's everything she's not, rich, tailored to precision, impossible to read. And before long, Anna is hooked, desperate to hold his attention, and determined to ignore the warning sign that this might be a toxic relationship. As Anna shuttles from grueling rehearsals to brutal auditions, she finds herself torn between two conflicting desires: the drive to nurture her fledgling singing career, which requires her undivided attention, and the longing for human connection. When the stakes increase and the roles she's playing, both on stage and off, begin to feel all-consuming, Anna must reckon with the fact that in carefully performing what's expected of her as a woman, she risks losing sight of herself completely. I love this. I love books that have to do with the woman experience and what it's like to be performative and what it's like to go through a toxic relationship. So very much interested in reading this one, and I hope that some unhinged behaviors take place because I don't know, I just am into that. I absolutely had to get this when I saw it, and it's Normal People, the script. I'm honestly like going to cry. Oh my god, there's even images in the middle. It's so beautiful. I love it. I can't wait to read this. And not only that, I got Fleabag, The Scriptures by Phoebe Waller-Bridge, and oh my god, I binge watched the first, like the season 1 and season 2, like the only seasons we'll ever get, and it was so funny and sad and crazy and amazing and relatable, and like honestly, it's art. It's fucking good. And like, these are my two favorite miniseries that have ever fucking existed. So I can't wait to read these and just feel all the feels. I'm just so happy with this haul. This is a really good haul. Like I said, everything will be linked down below, and now I will let future, past, whatever, Sandra take over again. So welcome back. This is the end portion of the video where I'm going to go through my thoughts on these 3 books. Unfortunately, we did not see me read or talk about The Italian Teacher by Tom Reichman in this video, because honestly I read about 55 pages in the summertime and I thought I had footage for it, but I don't. However, I really enjoyed it so far. It's about a painter and an artist's life and a complicated toxic relationship. So I'm actually gonna read this next year for the part 2 of my French Riviera reading vlog. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, I have posted a French Riviera set books reading vlog in the last week or so. So you can go watch that video if you wanna see more books that are like romance or that are set in the French Riviera. I'll have you all covered for that. But yes, as I said, I really enjoyed it, and I'm actually just gonna put it on hold and probably start again next year or continue from where I left off, because the story is still pretty fresh in my mind, although I haven't read it in a few weeks. So let's go through Broken French first, because I think Beach Read, everyone wants to know my thoughts on that. But I actually want to give some hype on this book. So although it's a 500-page self-published book, it was actually really enjoyable and it was really quick to read. Maybe the last 100 pages was a bit too much, and the concluding end was satisfying, but not as satisfying as I hoped it to be. But this story I talked about already in this vlog, follows this girl that basically quits her job as an architect at an architectural firm, and she really likes historical architecture. She likes, you know, preserving architecture from the past while it's being restored. So yes, and then this new firm is all about commercial architecture, and like they want to basically ruin all the heritage and all the families and history that are in the town that she lives in. And I think it's Charleston. Is it Charleston? Am I just making up a town right now? I don't know what the town name was. It was somewhere in the States. Honestly, most of this book is set in the French Riviera, so honestly there is some back and forth between her original town of birth, but I forgot it. Like I said, I know it's really bad, but it is what it is. So yeah, she quits because the job doesn't align with her values and they're not giving her the promotion that she deserves because they rather favor another man over her, and a man that like doesn't contribute and that just wants to keep the commercial money going. So yeah, she quits. Her best friend runs a nanny agency and she needs a last minute nanny, and although she's not qualified, she takes the job because she has nothing to lose and she doesn't have money, so she needs the money basically. So it's just for the summer, it's just for like a few months. So she goes to the south of France and she becomes a nanny to this French billionaire widower, and she falls in love with the little girl that she nannies, and she learns a lot about herself, about her career, about love, about relationships, etc. And he is also traumatized, so you can see that there's a lot of tension, and obviously they can't have this relationship because not in the way that it's being formed, because she is his nanny, so he needs to keep it professional, so they're resisting each other. Yada yada yada, you know the story, you know the drill, but they, you know, end up having this deep attraction. I would say that this is kind of steamy. It's not like the steamiest, but it does have some steamy scenes. The payoff is kind of rewarding, but I think like the most rewarding was the parts leading up to the payoff, and I think this book does a good job at giving some character flaws and backstory. I think this book is more than just a romance. At some points they do talk about social problems, they do talk about architecture, they talk about parenting, they talk about depression, trauma, like family trauma, etc. So I think it is worth reading. It's not like high literature, or it's not like life-changing, and you're not gonna be like thinking about the characters after you read it, but it's still like a solid 3.5, 4-star. And next summer, if you really want to pick up something that's quick to devour by the beachside or by the poolside, definitely pick up Broken French by Tasha Boyd. Okay, so finally we're at Beach Read by Emily Henry. I enjoyed the first 50 to 100 pages, like I was compulsively reading it. Then after that, I don't know what happened, but this book became boring. It dragged out. The main character, like, I get it, I understand her, but at the same time, like, she was just, I don't know, there was something about her that was like, it rubbed me the wrong way, or I just don't resonate, or I don't like her. I don't know what it is. Like, she's cute and all, but at the same time, she's just like a bit much, or she's just very, you know, like trying to be philosophical, but she's not. I don't know how to explain it. I really can't even pinpoint what my impressions are, because it just wasn't resonating with me. Like, I was almost skim reading towards the end, and the ending wasn't like, it was nice and all, but it wasn't like, the whole story just wasn't wow. The love interest Gus was nice, he was cool and all, but even him, like, he didn't resonate with me. I like that they had a lot of back and forth because they had challenged each other to write in each other's genre. So she writes romance and he writes literary fiction. I like the discussions that they had about writing and, you know, who gets an audience and who gets frowned upon, which, you know, romance genre gets frowned upon a lot, but it's what sells actually, if you think about it. But anyways, I like that aspect of the novel. I like the like, they were both traumatized, they both had failing relationships, and they both had complicated histories and stories with their family. However, for a book that's set in a beach town where they're supposed to basically write and, you know, basically explore each other's venues, so like they'll go on literary dates where like they're very like true crime, uncovering cult and past histories and people that have been in cults or known people in cults. And for her, the romance side, they're going like on little dates where, you know, like romance dates that like push two people to like fall in love, etc. And I enjoy that aspect, but they're still like, I don't know, I feel like they would glance on these little dates. They would take place for like 5 minutes, and then the rest of the book was just her like wondering what he's thinking about her, obsessing about him. Maybe there was too much telling and not enough showing, so that makes like things a little bit long to read and not believable. I don't know what to think about this. Honestly, I was going in with the high expectation of like, you know, enemies to lovers and like two people that love to write books and stuff, and it had some of that, but it wasn't as well fleshed as I hoped it to be. So Honestly, for me, this is like a 2 stars out of 5. That's a very low rating for me. Maybe 2.5 because I still finished it and whatnot. Seriously disappointing, and I hope her other books are better than this one. So please don't come at me because I didn't like Beach Read. Just something about the book that didn't grab my attention or really like wowed me, and I think it's because it's been super overhyped, so maybe like my expectations could not have been met no matter what the story turned out to be. So it's very sad actually, and I'm sure I'm not the only person that feels this. I'm sure there are people out there that didn't really enjoy Beach Read or enjoy other of her books. I've actually seen videos of people enjoying some of her books and not the others, and vice versa. So some people, they like book lovers more, some people like People We Meet on Vacation more, some people like Beach Read more, some people like them all, some people didn't like any of them. So it's really up to the reader. So I'm just giving my honest opinions. I always want to give my honest opinions while being respectful as I can. So yeah, let me know if you've read any of these books. Let me know what summer books have you read, or what romance books have you read recently. I would love to know. I'm trying to get back into romance. I haven't read that many romance in the last 2 years, so slowly but surely I will get back into the genre. Anyways, that's all for me. As always, everything that I mentioned is linked down below. My other blogs, websites, etc., videos, YouTubes, content is all linked down below. You can always browse and look around. All the books are going to be linked down below. And yeah, if you like this video, like, comment, and subscribe. All readers and non-readers are more than welcome on my channel. My goal here is to inspire you to read more and to help you find your next favorite book. If I accomplish that, then I have accomplished all of my goals for this channel. So please let me know, and feel free to share your favorite romance books. So for now, I'm gonna go, and I'll see you on the next reading vlog. Bye!